Okay, ROH show for May 12th, 2012. Started out with a match between the Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team and D-Line. Body Snatcher and Black Ice. Body Snatcher sounds like something out of a 1970s movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And Black Ice, that sounds like the last album done up by AC/DC. But anyway, you could look at this match one of two ways. Either Wrestling's Greatest Tag Team either made D-Line look good, or they should have beat him a little sooner. Anyway, but D-Line was actually pretty over considering they had a bunch of people from their Reclaim Foundation for underprivileged youth, like in the rural urban areas and like in the hood, you know. But anyway, Charlie Haas wins with the House of Pain move. And you would expect them to go over, which they did. But anyway, next match. And then next you had a Chikara Trios match. I mean, it's just another fancy way for saying it's a six-man tag. But anyway, you had Ophidian and the Ice Creams going against the Colony. Fire Ant, Green Ant, and Soldier Ant. Ant, Colony, get it? Anyway, for somebody that's never watched a Chikara match, I mean, they use a lot of lucha libre influences. They like their wrestlers wear masks and this, that, and the other thing. I actually thought it was a pretty decent match. Then they had sitting in on commentary was a guy named Ultramantis Black, and then the voice on this guy sounded really awfully familiar. I don't know if Cyrus the Virus means anything to you, or Don Callis, or the guy from the network on the old ECW show from like the late 90s, but I mean, maybe that's not who it was, but it sure sounded like him. But anyway, the Colony won with their anthill move, or whatever the hell they called it, but it was actually a decent match, I thought. Okay, then you had another match between Jay Lethal and Ricky Reyes. It was okay. It was more or less a squash for Lethal. Only thing I didn't get was, why wasn't Tommaso Ciampa out there? I'm just saying here. But anyway, Lethal wins with the Lethal Injection, which set up their match at Border Wars, and that was about what you would expect. And then you had a boring Davey Richards backstage promo with Veda Scott. Ooh, I'm not going to go too far into this, but okay, then you had your Inside ROH segment. Basically what it talked about was the double main event for the May 19th show, which I will get to later on. The rematch between Eddie Edwards and Mike Bennett, and they both had promos. Well, I won't go too far into that, but then the other match would be the rubber match between the All Night Express against the Young Bucks. And they both had promos talking about that too. But that was basically what the Inside ROH segment was all about, just talking about a double main event. And then before the main event, you had a backstage segment with Rhino and Truth Martini. Pretty much a standard Rhino interview. I will cut you in half with a gore! And then before the main event, you had a backstage segment with Rhino and Truth Martini. Pretty much a standard Rhino interview. I will cut you in half with a gore! And then the main event of the show leading into this was a Proving Ground match between Rhino and the ROH World Champion Davey Richards. Richards got more than a few boos in this match. But anyway, and Truth Martini looked like Pippi Longstocking. So says Kevin Kelly, and I have to agree with that. But anyway, why would you have a Proving Ground match on the night of a pay-per-view? I'm just saying here. But Richards wins. Okay, final thoughts on this show. I thought it was pretty good that they got 4 matches in an hour show. That's pretty good for an hour for ROH television. The first match between Hassan Benjamin and D-Line, it was all right. Then I actually thought, for somebody that's never watched a Chikara match, I thought it was pretty good. Then the Jay Lethal match, that was kind of meh. And then Richards and Rhino, it was kind of like Bizarro Lands, because it's like Richards got more booze than Rhino, and Rhino's supposed to be the heel, and Richards is supposed to be the face, But anyway, that's what I know about that show. And we will next I will jump into the May 19th show. Alright, let me know what you thought down below about the show for May 12th of 2012 from ROH. And subscribe up above if you haven't already. This is Marvelous Mark signing off. Bye-bye.